Hi, everybody. My name is Rita Crompton, also known as the Inventor Lady. And we've had some interesting conversations the last couple of weeks, particularly about intellectual property. All right, so what does that mean for you? Let's identify the different parts so we know when we're referring to something. I know you understand what I'm talking about. A lot of inventors will start out with a provisional patent application. A lot of inventors will call me and say, my patent is already issued. But for the beginners, let's start at the beginning. That provisional patent application can be useful when you're budgeting. It can be useful when you haven't really determined all the details, but you want to mark your time. Okay, that's what it does. It protects your filing date, even though you've still got some work to do on it. All right, so within a year, then you have to file the non-provisional or the utility patent. Utility means how is it used, simply put. Design patent can be useful on how something looks. Very different. If you have the option of getting the utility, by all means, that is the stronger type of intellectual property. So design patents, you can't really file a provisional when you know that you're going to be doing just a design. You're supposed to walk right into the design patent. But again, those are things that you should be talking about with your registered patent attorney. I'm kind of giving you a 10,000-foot view. So from a business point of view, what does all of this mean? Do you have to have a patent to go to market? No, absolutely not. You make a business decision regarding should you file or should you not file. Once your attorney has told you, can you file? All right, there's a difference there as well. So first you look at with your attorney the results of a search. Can you file? And when he says, here's the parameters, here's what you've got to work with, you make another business decision. Okay, there's enough room that it makes sense, or no, it doesn't. If you get on the no, it doesn't, now you look at a couple of your other options. All right, should I even be doing this? Am I infringing on someone else? These are all part of the conversation that you have. Sometimes it's me, myself, and I that are having the discussion. Sometimes you have a business partner, a trusted colleague that you're discussing this with. But these are not the times to be emotional. It's time to be logical. All right. You really want to do that spreadsheet. Should I file? Can I file? And what does that mean? All right. So let's get to the point where, yes, you can file. All right. And you've decided that now it's a question of, should I file? All right. Certain arenas look different. All right. It's not fair to you as an independent inventor to listen to someone in a meeting who says, oh, you should never file a patent. Well, if they're in a specific industry, that may be the best way for them to go. All right, let me give you an example. Very often on software. All right, if they're trying to file something on software, it's obsolete before they even get the application written because it changes so quickly. If you've got a new hammer, then, for instance, all right, that technology changes very slowly. So you have to look at your specific industry and how fast is technology moving. Sometimes it's software attached to a tool. That could be the middle of the road as far as determining how you can file and what you can file. All right, business decisions. We look at things logically, try to keep your emotions put in a box and hidden under the bed for a while so that you can be smart about your decisions. All right, as a licensing agent, right, companies license or rent the right to use your intellectual property. So if you're telling yourself, oh, I am going to, license my idea, but I don't want to file a patent. Nope, they rent the right to use your intellectual property. And when somebody says, oh, I've got an idea and I want to sell my idea, I don't want to file, I just want to sell my idea. Yeah, ideas are like belly buttons. Everybody's got one, and it doesn't matter how cute yours is. I cannot sell it or rent it. That's simple. So what you look at is now, can you file? And if you're planning on licensing, you need to file. All right. So once you're talking to your registered patent attorney, it's better for him if you say, I know I'm going into this with the idea that I'm going to go for licensing. Now, in a perfect world, when you're looking at the difference between startup and licensing, yes, you've got the budget, and we're going to talk about that in another one of our videos, is to be able to make some, what we call a short run, 500, 1,500, depending on where the price points are. But companies, when they're licensing, they're renting the right to use your intellectual property. All right. So when you don't care if someone copies your idea. It's like, you know what, I really don't care. I'm going to make some of these and sell them as long as I can. And, you know, I'll make a few bucks, but they're kind of a de-stressor for me just to make them and sell them at a farmer's market. Okay. So then you don't need to worry about it, right? If you don't care that someone copies you, you don't need to worry about it. If you want to be able to negotiate, if you want to be able to say, you can't do that, it's mine, you have to file intellectual property. It is the filing and the issuance of the intellectual property of the patent that gives you the right to claim this is mine. All right. Trademarks do fall in there. They're another topic for another video and an important one. So watch for that one to come out probably next week. It's just really important to understand all the nuances of intellectual property, of the patent. All right. Yes, I've met people that had patents on plants, and that is a whole nother category and a rather odd duck. So most of my inventors are not going down that road. So we're looking then at the provisional patent application, a non-provisional application or the utility, and then a design patent. And again, you're really looking at where do you fall? What industry, one, helps you make that determination? And then what do you want to do with it? Right? If you want to be able to license it, then you need to file. So I get some people say, oh, I don't want to spend that kind of money. All right, then you probably don't want to do this at all, because really, if you've got the right registered patent attorney, the patent is probably the least expensive of the whole thing. You know, you can make, you know, duct tape and cardboard prototypes on the kitchen table. And as long as you've got duct tape and cardboard, you're good to go. When you start hiring a design engineer and you start getting the sexy prototypes done, it's going to cost money. So when you're looking at, you know, your budget, right, you need to be able to budget somewhere around $15,000 for the intellectual property to get you through the first 5 years or so, until it's issued and you paid your first maintenance fee. If you get an attorney that tells you it's going to be $50,000 for the intellectual property, find a different one. All right, there's a lot of them out there. Don't do it yourself. Pro se, no way. I've got a video on that. Go listen to it. All right, you do not want to do this yourself. Licensees do not license patents that are done pro se. That's simple. They're not going to waste their time on it. There's just too many mistakes that are made. It's too easy to get around it. And if they're doing the heavy lifting of fighting an infringement, they want to know that they can defend it. That's simple. Really. Decide what you want to do. Where do you want to be in 5 years? And if it's in a licensing agreement and somebody else is doing the manufacturing, selling, defending the patent, and paying the product liability insurance and sending you a check every 3 months, file the patent. Have a great day.